There is a moment fleeting yet eternal when the veil between worlds grows thin, when the ordinary hum of existence is pierced by something beyond logic. It happens in the quiet spaces, a glance at the clock as it flashes, 11, 11, a receipt with the same digits, a license plate that seems to follow you like a whisper from the universe. At first, it feels like coincidence. Then, like a pattern. And then, if you dare to listen, like a message one written in the language of synchronicity, a dialect only the soul truly understands. This is not superstition, this is sacred geometry in motion, a cosmic nudge from the unseen hands that shape reality. When you see 1111, you are not merely witnessing numbers. You are standing at a crossroads where time folds, where the universe leans in and says, "Pay attention. You are closer than you think." The whisper in the machine. Modern life is a labyrinth of distraction screens, schedules, the relentless noise of a world that insists on keeping you asleep. Yet beneath the surface, there is an older rhythm, a pulse that predates clocks and calendars. It is the rhythm of symbols, of numbers that have echoed through sacred texts, mystical traditions, and the dreams of prophets. 11 is one such cipher, a code embedded in the fabric of existence. Some say it is a gateway, a portal between dimensions. Others believe it is a wake-up call, a signal from your higher self that you are aligning with a greater destiny. The ancients saw it as a mirror hour, a reflection of the soul's journey through time. But perhaps the most profound truth is this: 11. 11 is a question. And the question is not what does it mean, but what are you willing to see? The alchemy of attention. Synchronicity is the universe's way of bypassing the rational mind and speaking directly to the soul. Carl Jung called it a causal connecting principle, a dance of meaning that defies linear explanation. When you notice 1111, you are not observing randomness. You are participating in a hidden dialogue, one that has been unfolding since the first moment you began to awaken. Think of it as a breadcrumb trail left by your future self, a self who remembers what you are here to do, a self who knows the obstacles and the breakthroughs waiting ahead. Every time the numbers appear, it is an invitation. Remember, recalibrate, realize. The illusion of chance. We have been conditioned to dismiss these moments as quirks of perception, glitches in the matrix of mundane life. But what if the opposite is true? What if 1111 is proof that the universe is far more intelligent, far more intentional than we've been led to believe? Consider this. You do not find 1111, it finds you. It appears when you are on the brink of a revelation, when your energy is shifting, when the universe is conspiring to pull you into alignment with a higher path. It is not a passive sign, but an active force, a spark meant to ignite the dormant knowing within you. The call to awakening. This is why you are here reading these words, sensing the truth humming beneath them. You have felt the pull, the quiet insistence that there is more. More to reality, more to your purpose, more to the strange and beautiful mystery of being alive. 11 is not an end, but a beginning, a key turning in a lock you may not have even known existed. So let us begin. Let us unravel the layers, decode the symbols, and step into the deeper current where numbers are not just numbers, they are living sigils of transformation. The moment you begin to unravel the mystery of 1111, you step into a hidden current that has flowed through the collective unconscious for millennia. This is not merely about numbers on a clock. It is about the architecture of awakening, the silent language the universe uses to guide those who are ready to listen. The mirror of duality. At its core, 11. 11 is a reflection of duality, two ones, mirrored, standing side by side. In sacred geometry, The number 1 represents the primal spark, the unmanifest potential from which all creation emerges. When doubled, it becomes a bridge between worlds, a symbol of polarity and harmony. Light and shadow, masculine and feminine, spirit and matter, these are not opposites but complements, dancing together in the cosmic rhythm. When you see 1111, you are being shown a truth. You are both the seeker and the sought, the question and the answer. The universe is mirroring back to you the wholeness that already exists within. The Gateway Code. Across cultures and esoteric traditions, 11 has been regarded as a master number, a direct line to higher consciousness. In numerology, it is the mystic, the channel between the earthly and the divine. The tarot's 11th card is Justiceno as punishment, but as cosmic equilibrium, the law of cause and effect in its purest form. When this number repeats, it amplifies. 11 is not just a sequence. It is an activation, a vibrational key that unlocks deeper layers of perception. Some describe it as a stargate, a moment when the veils between dimensions grow thin, allowing messages from higher realms to slip through. The awakening trigger. For many, the first encounter with 1111 marks the beginning of a spiritual emergency, a sudden, often disorienting shift in awareness. Synchronicities multiply, dreams intensify. The world begins to feel like a lucid dream, where symbols speak louder than words. This is no accident. 11 acts as a soul alarm clock, shaking you out of the trance of ordinary life. It is the universe's way of saying, you are not just a human having a spiritual experience. You are spirit having a human experience, and it's time to remember. The quantum pause. Physics tells us that reality is not solid but probabilistic, a shimmering field of possibilities waiting to collapse into form. 11 appears at moments of quantum potential, when your choices carry extra weight, when the timeline of your life is most malleable. Think of it as a cosmic checkpoint, a pause in the script where you can rewrite your next steps. The numbers are a signal. This is a decisive moment. Choose consciously. The angel number mythos. New Age teachings often label 1111 as an angel number, a sign of celestial guidance. But this interpretation, while comforting, barely scratches the surface. The truth is far more profound. You are not being guided towards something. You are being guided toward yourself. The angels, if we must call them that, are not outside you. They are aspects of your own higher consciousness, reaching back through time to remind you of your power. 11 is their signature, a love note from the universe written in the ink of synchronicity. There is a story encoded within 1111, one that predates clocks, calendars, even language itself. It is a myth written in the silent spaces between moments, whispered by the patterns of the cosmos. To understand its depth, we must step beyond logic and into the realm of symbolic truth, where numbers are living entities and synchronicity is the universe's poetry. The twin flames of creation. In the oldest esoteric traditions, the number 1 was never just a digit, it was the primordial unity, the undivided source from which all existence sprang. When it appears twice, as in 11, it becomes something far more potent, a sacred marriage. Imagine 2 flames, identical yet distinct, dancing in perfect sync. One burns in the visible world, the realm of form, action, and linear time. The other flickers in the unseen, the domain of spirit, potential, and eternity. 11 is the moment these flames touch, merging into a single fire. This is why so many report feeling a jolt of energy when they see it. They are witnessing the reunion of their own divided selves, the human and the divine, remembering they were never separate. The library of time. Some mystics speak of the Akashic Record Sun infinite archive where every thought, event, and possibility is stored as vibrational imprints. If this library exists, then 11. 11 is one of its call numbers, a cipher that unlocks specific shelves of wisdom. Consider this. When you repeatedly encounter 1111, you are not just noticing a time on a clock. You are synchronizing with a frequency, tuning into a bandwidth where past, present, and future intersect. It's as if your soul has left a trail of breadcrumbs across time, and the numbers are the glowing markers saying, "This way home." The silent teacher. In certain schools of Tibetan Buddhism, there exists a concept called Termashidden teachings buried in the landscape of reality, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. These are not physical scrolls, but imprints in consciousness, activated only when a seeker is ready. 1111 functions as a modern-day terma. Its meaning is not static. It morphs to meet you where you are. For one person, it may signal a coming reunion with a soulmate. For another, it might herald a creative breakthrough or a call to surrender old wounds. The message is tailored, encrypted in the language of your own becoming. The Portal Keepers. Ancient cultures from the Mayans to the Egyptians encoded 1111 into their sacred architecture. The Great Pyramid's alignment, the Mayan calendar's end date, these were not arbitrary choices. They were doorways, physical markers of a threshold between worlds. Today, the portal has migrated from stone to the digital age. It appears on smartphones, airport departure boards, gas station price, displays the modern world's version of sacred sites. This is no accident. The universe is adaptable, meeting us through the symbols of our time. When you see 1111, you are standing at the same threshold as the initiates of old, only now the temple is everywhere. The ladder of ascension. In Hebrew mysticism, the number 11 is associated with chaos and revelation, the twin forces that precede transformation. The 11th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Kaf, means palm of the hand, symbolizing both receptivity and the power to shape reality. When doubled, this energy becomes a ladder. Each 11 is a rung, one grounding you in the physical, the other pulling you toward the infinite. The space between them is where magic happens, the alchemical moment when lead becomes gold, when the seeker becomes the sage. The magic of 1111 is not confined to the realm of theory or mystical wonder. It pulses through the fabric of everyday life, waiting to be harnessed. When these numbers appear, they are not just signs to admire, but active invitations to engage with reality in a new way. This is where philosophy meets practice, where cosmic insight transforms into tangible change. The art of conscious noticing. The first step is simple, yet profound. Pause when you see 1111. In that moment, you are standing at a crossroads where the universe has momentarily aligned to get your attention. This is not about superstition, it's about cultivating presence. Ask yourself, what was I just thinking? What energy was I holding? The numbers often appear when your mind is brushing against something significant, an unspoken truth, a buried desire, or a silent fear. By training yourself to notice and reflect, you begin to decode the personal language of your soul, anchoring the signal. Synchronicities like 1111 can feel fleeting, dissolving as quickly as they arrive. To integrate their power, create a ritual around them. When the numbers appear, stop and breathe deeply, 3 slow inhales and exhales to anchor the moment in your body. Ask for clarity. Silently pose a question like, what do I need to see right now? Trust the first thought, image, or feeling that arises, this is your intuition speaking in shorthand. Over time, this practice builds a bridge between the symbolic and the practical, turning random sightings into a dialogue with your higher awareness. Navigating life's decision points. Many report seeing 1111 during pivotal moments, career shifts, relationship crossroads, or creative blocks. These numbers act as cosmic checkpoints, urging you to pay attention to the energy behind your choices. For example, if you're hesitating on a decision and 1111 appears, it may be a nudge toward bold action. If you're clinging to something out of fear, a job, a habit, a belief, the numbers might signal, release this, a new cycle awaits. Keep a journal of these moments. Patterns will emerge, revealing how 1111 maps to your unique journey. The energy reset. On days when the world feels heavy or chaotic, 1111 often appears as a reminder. You are not stuck in the noise. You are a co-creator of the frequency. Try this reset. When you see the numbers, close your eyes and envision the digits glowing in your mind's eye. Imagine them dissolving into light, flooding your body with a sense of alignment and possibility. Set a silent intention. I choose to vibrate at the frequency of my highest path. This takes less than a minute but can shift your entire day. From synchronicity to strategy. For those ready to go deeper, 1111 can become a framework for intentional living. Manifestation. Use the 1111 gateway, 1111 AM or PM, to plant seeds of intention. Write down a desire in the present tense, I am now living in, and release it without overthinking. Course correction. If you're seeing the numbers during periods of stagnation, they may highlight areas where you're out of sync with your purpose. Ask, where am I resisting flow? Community and confirmation. Share your experiences with others. You'll often find that 1111 appears to groups or pairs during moments of collective awakening, a reminder that we're all woven into the same cosmic story. The shadow side of signs. A word of caution. Obsessing over 1111 dilutes its power. The goal is not to chase the numbers, but to let them deepen your trust in the unseen intelligence guiding your life. If you find yourself anxiously waiting for the clock to strike 1111, step back. True synchronicity flows effortlessly like a whisper, not a shout. The phenomenon of 1111 is far more than a numerical curiosity. It is a living language, a bridge between the seen and unseen worlds that is called to seekers across time. From ancient temples to digital clocks, this sacred code has endured because it speaks to something primal within us, the remembering that we are both the traveler and the path, the question and the answer. The alchemy of remembering. Every encounter with 1111 is an invitation to awaken from the trance of separation. The modern world conditions us to believe we are isolated fragments in a chaotic universe. But these numbers whisper a different truth. You are a deliberate note in a cosmic symphony, one that has been playing since before time began. When you see 1111, you are not receiving an external message. You are overhearing your own soul's conversation with eternity. This is why the experience feels so intimate, so meant. The shiver of recognition, the quickening of your pulses are not reactions to random digits, but your spirit resonating with its own blueprint. You are being reminded. You chose this journey. You wrote this story. And now, the story is waking up to itself. The call to embodied wisdom. Knowledge untethered from action is merely decoration. The true power of 1111 lies not in decoding its mystery, but in allowing it to decode you. Each sighting is a crossroads. Will you dismiss it as coincidence, or recognize it as communion? Will you file it away as a curiosity, or let it dismantle your limitations? Will you admire the signpost, or take the road it points toward? The numbers are not the destination, they are the finger pointing at the moon. Your transformation begins when you stop staring at the finger and start following the light. The ripple effect. As you align with the frequency of 1111, something remarkable happens. You become a beacon for others. Your presence, your choices, your very energy begins to transmit the same wake-up call you once received. This is how collective shifts occur, not through grand proclamations, but through a million quiet moments where one soul reminds another, look, listen, you are more than you've been told. The final invitation. If this exploration has stirred something in you, trust that stirring. 1111 appears when the universe is conspiring to elevate your vision of what's possible. The next time you see those numbers, let them ask you the only question that matters. Are you ready to live as if the magic you sense is real? The answer is not spoken, it is lived, and the living begins now.